of today, January 10, 2026, the Rivers State House of Assembly is proceeding with the impeachment of Governor Siminalayi Fubara and Deputy Governor Professor Ngozi Odu, despite widespread opposition from various stakeholders. Well, the current status of things is that back just yesterday, before we go back a few days back, just yesterday, January 9, 2026, the Assembly confirmed that the impeachment process is fully on course and rejected rumors of the suspension. And January 8 was the date Speaker Martin Morile and 26 other lawmakers served formal notices of gross misconduct to both Governor and Deputy Governor of Rivers State. They have 7 days now to respond to the allegations, and the allegations include, essentially based on 8 allegations, including reckless and unconstitutional spending, failure to present the 2026 budget, withholding funds for the Assembly Service Commission, and the illegal, that's what they call that, illegal appointment of officials without legislative screening. Now, the Assembly has adjourned proceedings until January 15, which is next week, Thursday, to await the responses of the executives, both governor and deputy governor. Meanwhile, multiple influential groups have called for an immediate halt to the process to prevent further instability in the state. For example, the Rivers Elders and Leadership Forum, led by former Deputy Governor Dr. Gabriel Toby, the forum has described the allegations as disturbingly weak and lacking constitutional weight. The state chapter of the All Progressives Congress, the party Fubara recently joined, has also, at least a faction of the party, has also openly rejected the move, calling that a destabilizing carry-over of PDP internal conflict. In fact, the Ijaw National Congress, that's the Ijaw National Congress, and then the Ijaw Youth Council have warned that the move is a dangerous escalation driven by external political influences. Groups too, like the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF, has established a reconciliation committee reportedly to address the crisis, warning of a potential breakdown of law and order. And you do know that this is the third impeachment attempt against Governor Fubara since 2023, following the collapse of the 2025 peace accord brokered by President Bola Tinubu. Lawmakers loyal to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory Minister, that's Nyesom Wike, remain adamant, with Speaker Martin Morile stating he and his colleagues would rather resign than allow the governor to continue his current path. Welcome to Homo Politicals. Kingsley Bass is my name. I'm very pleased to welcome you to today's conversation. Well, to have this conversation joined by the legal practitioner, Chetam Thierry Mwala. He joins me virtually today. Many thanks for joining me today.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Appreciate that. I'm wondering what you make of the crisis in Rivers State right now. It's not the first, it's not the second, but the third attempt by the Rivers State House of Assembly to impeach Governor Siminalayi Fubara. It's maybe a record one politically in this political dispensation, if memory serves me right. What do you make of this? Is this impeachment, from your standpoint, a legitimate constitutional exercise, or is this a dangerous, as a matter of fact, maybe a very dangerous political escalation we're seeing?
Okay, I think it's important to first ask ourselves, how did we get to this position where we have found ourselves? And we are having constantly the House of Assembly threatening the governor with different impeachment proceedings. This is like the third time we're having this impeachment conversation with respect to the Rivers State governor and all that. And it's an unfortunate situation because it has made our state ungovernable. It has also made things difficult for the state, and the state has not made necessary progress as ought to make. However, it is important that look at the critical issues that has led to this call for an impeachment of the governor. But I keep saying that this whole issue is about the disagreement between the governor and the FCT minister. And because this disagreement has continued, we are continuing to see a situation where the House of Assembly being controlled by the FCT minister is coming after the governor, which is a very sad and unfortunate situation. Now, the governor does not have any disagreement with the House of Assembly. It should be on the record. The major disagreement the governor has is between the FCT minister and the governor. Now, because the FCT minister controls the House of Assembly, whenever he disagrees with the governor, he immediately engineers the House of Assembly against the governor. This we have seen time and time again. It's a very unfortunate situation. Now, some of us have also argued and said that despite the situation, that if the president wants to end the crisis within Rivers State, the president can end the crisis within Rivers State if he's so willing to get it done. But unfortunately, we have a president who is just focused on his own presidential ambition and he's not interested in whether Rivers State is burning or any state is burning. So, because as of today, the greatest beneficiary of Rivers State crisis is Mr. President. The president is benefiting from Rivers State crisis because today he declared a state of emergency in Rivers State, which has actually hand-twisted the governor to support him. The governor is supporting him today. The FCT minister is supporting him today. So whatever the crisis they are having is not bedeviling his own ambition. The president is okay. After all, the initial challenge he had, he has resolved that particular challenge. And on the strength of that now, everybody is now supporting him. So the president is very, very much okay with it. And that's why you see that this political crisis between Rivers State will not be resolved, because what stops the president from calling his minister to order and telling his minister to go back and resolve this issue?
Supporters of the president. Yeah, pardon me. Supporters of the president might, disagree with you on the point that the president has not done his part, to resolve this crisis. Recall that the president did broker, what has now become, allegedly, at least from Wike's point of view, the breach of an agreement, which in that meeting brokered by the president. Recall that happened, and the entire nation was, screaming that the political solution should not be the way to go, that the president was unduly interfering in Rivers State politics. Well, we're back here now where you're saying the president has a role to play, and that the president is not doing that because it's favoring the president politically. Chitam, you there? There. Suppose the network glitch, I'd like to think, there. But yes, we're speaking with a Rivers-based legal practitioner, Chitam, this theory, this beautiful morning, discussing this political crisis in Rivers State and the way forward, really, as to how this should be resolved. We hear, according to reports, several stakeholders have tried, they are still trying to intervene in the crisis. You'd have noticed, if you've been following the political development in Rivers State, that the Federal Capital Territory Minister has been on some local council tour this past few days, more than 1 week now, going about local government to local government, saying, he says he's going there to say thank you to them for their support in the past years, and that he thanks for staying there. Tomo Politicos, this Enterprise Television. We're talking the Rivers State crisis right now. It's fast escalating, and I've got Chitam Theory, legal practitioner, Rivers-based legal practitioner, who is talking to me about this right now. Many thanks for staying there. Many thanks for reconnecting, Chitam. Apparently, we would need to kindly check if you're not muted, so that we can have the smooth conversation. Appreciate that. All right. So, in continuing the conversation, you were just saying, that the president has not done his part, or rather, that the president knows how to resolve this crisis. But because it benefits the president, is not doing what should be done to resolve the crisis. But I was just reminding you that last year, there was a meeting called by the president, where several stakeholders reportedly were present. The Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara was present, as well as his predecessor and now Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, present. And they said agreement was reached. In fact, Wike has now said just recently, days back, that the agreement have been breached by the governor. So I was saying that to say that the supporters of President Bola Tinubu would be disagreeing with you on your point, that the president knows what to do and is not doing so.
Well, the truth remains that, can you hear?
Yes, clearly.
Okay, the truth is that the president has not decisive on dealing this particular issue. The president, yes, the president had intervened. We have seen the president's intervention. He has intervened. He has had to meet with them at the level he and try to resolve the issues as they could. But you see, critically, the major issues that has been deviled Rivers State, the president has failed to address it. And what are these major issues that have been deviled Rivers State that we're talking about? Now, the president has a minister. Everybody knows that the person causing the problems within Rivers State is the minister of the FCT. Everybody knows that fact. All the president has been doing is just smokescreen, pretending to be dealing with the problems while the president is not actually dealing with the main issue. The simple thing to be done is to call the minister to order. If the president calls the minister to order today, my brother, the crisis in Rivers State will end. But because the president has failed to call the minister to order, what he does is he would tighten the hands of the governor, force the governor. Okay, now the governor is supporting him. Now the governor is supporting him. Why is the minister still putting up all the fights and causing up all the chaos he's causing within the states? Why is the minister going around the 23 local government areas, raising political tension within Rivers State? So these are the issues we are talking about. And when we say that the president has not dealt with this issue, we know what we are saying, that the president has really not dealt with this particular issue. Because if the president deals with this issue, trust me, this issue will come to an end. Look at the said agreement that the FCT minister is referring to. If you look at it, where some of us have had a glimpse of what looks like the agreement, about 20 of them. The 20 agreements were just instruction and even trying to stifle the fundamental human right of the governor, where the governor was asked, you should not go to Abuja. If you must go to Abuja, it must be on the invitation of the FCT minister. You should not attend governors' forum meetings. You should not welcome any visitor into the government house. These were the type of agreements.
Chitam, I'm sure that you know that we cannot rely on such. Well, I've seen that circulating social media as well, but those terms seen there, they are so ridiculous, difficult for one to believe. Then we cannot even verify that the content of that text circulating social media is
true. Let me say this.
Yes.
Let me say this. The FCT minister has alluded to some of these things. The FCT minister has alluded to them. Let me tell you, I would mention about three that the FCT minister has talked about. He talked about the restatement of the of Sergeant Awuse as the chairman of Rivers National Council.
Yeah.
He talked about the issue of list of commissioners. He talked about the appointment of only 5 SAs. Now, this person, and from the actions of the governor we have seen thus far, the actions of the governor suggests that actually that document is correct. Because if you look at the complaints of the FCT minister and the actions of the governor, it shows glaringly that those were the terms given to the governor. That's why the governor came, looked and twisted like he doesn't know what he's doing. Because these are draconian conditions that our president sat over. And you want peace, you can't have peace now. You can't have peace. That was the situation. That's why I said the president is not serious about addressing this issue. He has not decisively decided to address this issue, else this matter would have been laid to rest.
Well, again, some of those points made in that agreement circulating social media, well, again, from my point of view, they are quite, pardon me, they are quite ridiculous. They still stay at the moment, since we cannot confirm that independently, in the realm of speculations. But that said, let's talk about you started your response to my question today saying that what the State House Assembly lawmakers have been doing is because the Federal Capital Territory Minister, has a grip on them politically and that they are doing his bidding. Well, let's talk about that for a moment, right? Because if you look at some of the allegations put forward by the lawmakers, which they base their impeachment proceedings on, can those allegations be denied? Has the governor denied those? Or do you think this is legitimate, or another, mere political, escalation to cover what indeed is, not being said to the public?
Let's be honest with ourselves. The issues raised by the House of Assembly,
Yes.
I have been of the opinion that because of this continuous back and forth threat of the House of Assembly of impeachment notice being served to the governor every AK market day, I have said that the governor should go through the impeachment process. If he knows his hands are clean, he should come out clearly, address them, and we'll move on and make progress as a state, so that the House of Assembly will not come out again. Because for me, those allegations levied against the governor, I can't on behalf of the governor deny it, because I was not there when some of these things happened. So I can't deny on behalf of the governor. The governor should be the one to come to either accept or to deny those allegations that have been levied against him. But there are some of them that I can speak to that is actually public knowledge. One, the issue of the refusal of the governor to present budget. We must say clearly that we saw the National Assembly take over the budgetary responsibilities of the Rivers State House of Assembly during the state of emergency. And in course of this takeover, we saw the National Assembly provide a budget for Rivers State. That budget is still subsisting. That budget is still on. So you can't say that the governor has refused to present a budget before you when there is an existing budget already. So until we exhaust that budget, the governor still has up to 30th of June before he can now, before we can now say that he can no longer spend from the last 2025 budget. That budget is still subsisting. That's on the one hand. Then on other issues, I think the governor needs to also clarify on some of these things. Now, the big question we have also asked is, what are the offenses of the deputy governor that you're including the deputy governor? But we know the deputy governor has done nothing wrong. She was just included because she has shown solidarity and support to the governor. And this is the type of system we keep finding. This type of system we have seen, because somebody wants to control the affairs of our state. Somebody wants to control the affairs of everybody, and that's why we keep having this particular issue at this particular challenge. So I think the governor needs to address these issues and attend to them, and let's get done with it and make progress from this standpoint.
All right. From a legal point of view, do you think that the lawmakers, the House, can pull through with this? There are those who say that, this it will be very difficult to go through with this, considering the fact that the chief judge is one appointed by the governor and the rest. From a legal point of view, what do you say?
The chief judge was appointed by the FCT minister before he left as governor of the state. He was appointed by the FCT minister. And as to whether the chief judge, we expect the chief judge to be transparent in his dealings and to also make sure that things goes on free and fair, that the matter is treated with integrity and fairly. Because the law is to the effect that what the assembly is doing is not something strange to our laws. Of course, the assembly, when they find that there is a misconduct by the governor or deputy governor, they can carry out, it's part of the oversight function, carry out an impeachment process against the governor, having investigated and come up with their own conclusion. Now, in the circumstance which we are dealing with, the chief judge is to set up a 7-man panel, which will now look at the allegations which the assembly has brought up. And if the 7-man panel finds the governor guilty, the governor stands removed. If they do not find the governor guilty, he continues his job as a governor. So there is no hard and fast rule to this particular effect. We will make progress from there. And so the chief judge has a role to play. All these things are just political, but we expect the chief judge to be fair, to be honest in his dealings. Because the criteria for those who look at the petition that is before the chief judge right now is that there are people of unquestionable character. So the chief judge must be able to assemble Rivers men of unquestionable character to look at the allegations that have been levied against the governor, whether they are true or they are just mere concussion of the House of Assembly.
Well, what does this mean, though, for politically? You did reference the fact that the Federal Capital Territory Minister has been, around local councils, and you say that his presence there and the words that he said, they're generating political tension in the state. How so? And, how can this be doused, this political tension be doused as well?
I have said one man has the key, and his name is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but he will not do it because right now the crisis is serving his political interest for 2027. And until he calls the minister to order and asks him to focus on his job in Abuja, trust me, Rivers will not have peace. Rivers will continue to have this turmoil we're having right now. And that is why we have said that the president should be decisive. He knows how to solve this problem, but has refused to toe that particular line. Wike is his political ally. He didn't want to offend Wike and all that. But it's also hurting the state because the state has not made progress. The state has not made progress. It is this same Wike that forced this governor upon our throat. We never wanted this governor. We didn't want this governor. Wike forced him down our throats. Now he does not want the man to govern because the man is not acting like a puppet to him like he wanted. He wanted to do a third term through this man, but it has failed. And that's why you see him fighting and making sure that he brings the man down to his knees. But it is a sad situation. Where do we go to from here? Where do we go to from here? Because the president has to take a decision and take a decisive step to addressing this particular issue. This is our crisis, this is our challenge. And until this is done, we can't make progress as a state, we can't make progress as a people.
There are rumors, Chetam, that the governor, particularly with that move to the All Progressives Congress, was backed by political godfathers. Some, who they've now called political godfathers to the governor, Fubara, some political heavyweights within the All Progressives Congress, the likes of the governor, Remote State Hope, Uzodinma has been mentioned, the National Security Advisor further mentioned too. What do you know about this, and how do you think this could help the governor through this, political crisis?
Well, these are kitchen cabinet members of the president's kitchen. And of course, they have their disagreements. We have heard from various sources, some are reliable, some are not reliable, that the whole thing started with the FCT minister trying to impose Sam Anyanwu as the successor of Uzodinma in Imo State. And he took him to the president, trying to tell the president that he wants him to succeed him as to succeed Hope as governor of Imo State. Recall, Seyi Makinde has already accused long before now, has accused the FCT minister of destabilizing the PDP so that he can have, so that the president can have an easy ride to 2027. And we saw the FCT minister use someone like Sam Anyanwu as a destabilizing factor in the PDP to help destabilize the PDP and make the PDP less effective. Now he has gone to touch the tail of Hope Uzodinma. Hope Uzodinma wanted to bring in somebody as a successor when he finishes as governor, just like the FCT minister did in Rivers State. Now, because he has done that, the FCT minister has said the Hope Uzodinma and the cartel within the presidency have said to fight him. And that is what we are seeing now in Rivers State. So what the FCT minister is doing now is a fight back to that that cartel within the presidency and to survive politically. But the problem of all these things is that Rivers people are the greatest losers of these whole problems. Because whether it is Hope Uzodinma, whether it is whomever, whether it is who, the challenge is that Rivers people are suffering because the crisis is not bringing development to our state. The crisis has made our state moribund and it has kept us in a stalemate. And it's a major problem. And that's why a lot of us are concerned with it. And a lot of us are calling for the end of this particular crisis because it does not serve any Rivers man.
Well, we'll see how things go, from here. But you've mentioned the President Bola Tinubu, repeatedly in this particular conversation, and you've mentioned the role he has to play politically to resolve this. And you said he should call the Federal Capital Territory Minister to order. Well, 2027 is fast approaching. By mid-2026 this year, would see party primaries. In fact, Wike just weeks back, December, did mention the fact that, tried dismissing the fact that the governor, Fubara, is the leader of the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State. Something that has also further sparked, debate and, as a matter of fact, has caused the war of words between Nyesom Wike and the National Secretary of the All Progressives Congress. We need to remind Nigerians that the Federal Capital Territory Minister, though serving under an administration led by the All Progressives Congress, is not a member, at least not yet, that we know, is not a member of the All Progressives Congress. He's claimed to be the member of the People's Democratic Party. The faction of the party led by Taminu Turaki, that's the PDP, has since said that he has been expelled in that November 15, 2025 Congress held in Ibadan. But talking party politics some more, Chetam, as we begin to wind down the conversation today, how do you think things would eventually play out, right? With the way things stand now, we hear that several stakeholders have been trying to weigh into the matter to telling the lawmakers to halt this process, but they have been, saying there is no going back with this. But how do you think things will play out politically, particularly as regards, the role that political parties will play in the grand scheme as we approach 2020, the mid 2026 for the primaries?
Well, the point is, both the House of Assembly members and the governor are all members of the All Progressive Congress. So they said. But we know that despite that the House of Assembly members have moved to the APC, they are still loyal to the Deputy Minister. And because they are loyal to the Deputy Minister, definitely we expect them to do things in line with the instruction of the Deputy Minister. We don't expect them to go to follow, to toe the line of their political party, because they went to the APC as a result of convenience to unstable or to destabilize the governor. That was why they rushed to the APC. They didn't know at any point in time that the governor was going to make this quick move to join them in the APC. And this is part of the reasons why they are now bothered that the governor has joined them in the APC. Now, the APC will try to wade in as a political party. But the truth of the matter is that whatever the APC is doing, if the FCD minister is not in tone with it, is not in line with it, it's not going to work. Because these men are puppets to the FCD minister. He controls them, he pays them, he does everything for them. So whatever anybody is doing, it is still the FCD minister that will decide. That's why I said that it is only the president who can end this problem. If the president calls the FCD minister and gives him straight warning, leave this boy alone, it will end. But if the president decides to be quiet and to keep playing this is hanky-panky politics, my brother, we will continue in this whole thing and deceiving ourselves that there will be a solution.
That might even be difficult, because even the Federal Capital Territory Minister, you remember, I think that was at the rally, the tour that I think local council, where he said that nobody, that there are thoughts that there will be calls from the presidency directing them on what to do, and the Federal Capital Territory Minister did mention too that there was nobody who could tell him what to do when it comes to Rivers State. He further warned politicians to stay clear to Rivers State. Some persons have interpreted that as the warning also to the president to say, you cannot tell me what to do when it comes to Rivers State. Do you think then that the president, considering what you've said all through the show today, that the president truly can, tell the Federal Capital Territory Minister what to do when it comes to Rivers State?
I challenge the FCD minister. I challenge the FCD minister. He does not have the balls to disagree with the president. This FCD minister does not have the balls to. Yes, Wiki is a born. Yes, Wiki does not have the balls to challenge the president. He doesn't. I challenge him. Let the president make the call. Let him say no. He cannot. He cannot. I am telling you now. He's somebody we know in this state now. He cannot say no to the president. The only survival, the only political survival lifeline he has is this president, and he knows it. So he cannot challenge the president. All those noises he's making and those we know Wiki. We know Wiki very well. So I challenge him. Let him disagree. Let him come out clearly to say, even if the president calls me, I will not listen to him. If Wiki feels that he's strong, he should come out and say, even if the president calls me, I will not listen to him. He cannot say that. He cannot say that. That is stopping him will not push him to do that. Because that's why I said it is only this president who can do this. If the president calls him to order, this matter would end.
By the way, he seems to have
has the key.
Yes, Nyesom Wike seems to have the support of various local governments. where he's been to. We've seen massive crowd step out to welcome him, chanting his name in some cases. It looks like he's gotten Rivers State in his pockets ahead of the elections.
My brother, if you give me money now, I will pull more than the crowd you saw with Wike brought out in all the local governments. I will do the same thing. What the people, they have impoverished the people to the point that when you throw small money at them, the people will come out and join you and stand under the sun. And you tell them the rubbish, you tell them, and they will return back to their houses. That is how much they have impoverished our state. The truth of the matter is that the fact that those crowds are coming out does not mean that Wike is on ground or in charge of the state. That is not the truth. It does not reflect it. It does not reflect it. If there's a political leader or there is a politician in Rivers State who is not loved by the people, his name is Elzebua Yesom Wike. And he is not loved, not for any reason, but because he has of his political high-handedness and because he has continued to act the way he has acted for this number of months now we have seen. But unfortunately, forget those crowds you see.
Oh, well, let's very quickly wrap the conversation. We've been speaking with Chetam today. Chetam, the Rivers State legal practitioner, Rivers State-based legal practitioner, who's been speaking with me today about the political crisis in Rivers State. And, well, it's been an insightful conversation, if you like. You too can be part of the conversation. You want to stop by the comment section and join the conversation. Let's know what you think of the conversation today. How will things play out eventually in Rivers State? Will the Federal Capital Territory Minister have his way? Will he not have his way, particularly as we approach party primaries mid-2026? And by the way, the most important factor, which is governance. Will this be sidelined now? Will the governor fighting for his political survival? Will this be sidelined now? As we continue to see this happen across the state. Well, this crisis is far from over. The political crisis in Rivers State far from over, with the House of Assembly adjourning till next week, Thursday, January 15th, to await responses from the governor and his deputy. The coming days may determine not just the fate of an administration, but the stability of an entire state. So we're talking the political, even security stability of an entire state, Rivers State. At stake, the competing interpretations of the Constitution as well, unresolved political rivalries, and the challenge of balancing legislative oversight with democratic mandates. As stakeholders continue to call for dialogue and restraint, the question remains whether reconciliation will prevail this time over confrontation. So what happens next in Rivers State? Well, that will definitely go beyond its borders. It will test Nigeria's democratic institutions. It will test political maturity, the political maturity in the country, not just the state, and the capacity for peaceful conflict resolution. I'd like to thank you so much for watching Homo Politicos today.